So students, grab your sketchbook today and open it up to page 17. And what we're going to do is we're going to see our pencil set cheat sheet. And what we're going to do is turn the page and we're going to create something on the back. And this is what it's going to look like. Okay? So we are going to learn how to draw a head today. And let me move this a little bit here so it's less distracting. So we're going to learn how to draw a head. And we're going to follow these steps. So let me get a blank sheet in my other sketchbook on the back side of page 17. And turn there. There we go. So my spine is on the right side today. We're going to need a ruler and a pencil with an eraser. You can use your fancy pencils if you like in the pencil set, but this will work just fine. And then move the camera a little bit more. There we go. I think that should help. All right, so what we're going to do is title this. And at the top of this, it's gonna say A way to draw a head. And the reason why I say a way to draw a head is because this is not just the only way. There's many ways to draw a human head. And so a way is just letting you know that there's other ways, and this is just one of them to do this. I find this is the easiest for students because it's simple, it helps you understand what things are, and we can break it down. All right, so over here, what I want you to do is just sort of like freehand draw a rectangle. And then in this rectangle, we're gonna draw a face. And I'm gonna label this how I started. Well, hopefully we'll see you progress, okay? So pause the video here and draw a face in here. Maybe you drew something round, you got some eyes in there, you got a nose and a mouth. Maybe you put ears. Maybe that's how you draw a face, I don't know. But your face is gonna look a little bit different than mine. So we're going to write some things and draw some things at the same time, and we're gonna use a ruler just so it makes it a little bit easier. And so right next to this rectangle and your first drawing of a face or a head, what we're going to do is draw a 1 inch by 1 inch square. Okay? Square. Might be a little bit hard with these, but you'll do your best. And so step 1, I'll just put a number 1 there, and I'll underline it so we know that that's the step, is to draw a box. And we're going to build the instructions so you can have them always in your sketchbook and you'll know how to use this way. Now, this box doesn't always have to be 1 inch by 1 inch. It could be 2 inches, 3 inch by 3 inch. We just want a square. So I might even put in square. Okay. Step 2, I need to draw that box again because we're going step by step, like there's instructions. So we have to draw that box again, 1 inch by 1 inch, right? I'm just doing it a little bit over here, but you can draw it where you like on this line. And then let me use this ruler to connect this point. There we go. It's not the perfect square, but it's close enough. And I can fix it. And this is the best part. If you can fix your things before you move on, you'll always get something a little bit better. It's like spilling juice or milk. The sooner you clean it up, the easier it is to clean. All right, so step 2, STEP. Number 2, underline that, is to divide. Divide. And so you all know the symbol for divide. Box into fourths. So, a little math here. We got to divide it vertically in half, and then we're going to divide it horizontally in half. So I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes inside of it, okay? Now we need to go down here, and I'm going to draw another box, but I'm going to leave some space. So I'm going to write step 3 even before I draw my box. I'll underline it, and I want some room, and I'm going to write draw 2 horizontal lines. Now that doesn't make sense yet, but once we draw our box under here, it will, and we follow steps. So we got to do step 1, and then we got to do step 2. So I'll draw my 1-inch box, like so. And up we go, and to the sides. There we go. So I have my box, and then step 2 is to divide it into 4. So I have one vertical line going down the center, and then we have a horizontal line going across. Now I need to draw 2 horizontal lines. But where, Mr. Matthews? Where? So we're just going to go to the top of this box and go down about a third of the way down. A third of the way down. So if we were to divide this into 3 rectangles, we would just want this top rectangle. And so I'm just going to guess it's about here. And then we're going to go to the bottom, and we're going to go up a third. Up a third. And so you have one horizontal line here, and you got one horizontal line there. Now we are going on to step 4. So STEP, number 4, underline it. There we go. We'll draw a box because we've got to do step 1, 2, 3, and get to here. There's only 6 steps to this. So we're halfway done, if not more, now that we're starting this box. Just a little over half, a little bit more over half. Each line we make, we just get closer and closer. So we'll divide it into fourths, right? Then once we have it in fourths, oop, that line is messy, so I can erase it. Once we divide it into fourths, now we want to add that top vertical line. That's about 1/3 of the way down. And this bottom one, that's 1/3 of the way up from the bottom. Now, the step is to draw a circle. Draw a circle that touches all 4, and we'll just use the number 4, sides. Okay? And so I want to draw a circle. I'll start up here right in the center. I'll come down and over. And your circle might not be perfect right now. That's okay. We'll get there. Draw a circle, and it touches all 4 sides. Step 4. That is step 4. All right, now let's go down here to step 5, STEP, number 5. Underline it. I'm going to write this just because it's a little bit, we need some space here. So step 5 is duplicate. And that means make a copy. Bottom rectangle. So we want to duplicate the bottom rectangle. So again, draw that first square, that box, 1 inch by 1 inch, just because that's the measurements we're using to keep our paper open. There we go. Then we're going to divide it into fourths. 1 down the center, 1 across. We'll do the top vertical line, about 1/3 of the way down. We'll do the bottom one, 1/3 of the way up. Then we'll put a circle in here that touches all 4 sides. Look at that. Now what I want to do is replicate this bottom rectangle. So I'll just make it the same size. I don't need all this other stuff there. I just need to make it the same size, about the same size. So we want to take that and copy it down there. Okay, so that's step 5. We'll go step 6, and we are almost done. 6. And this one is a little confusing at first, but once we draw it, you'll see it. And that is add the egg, just like the eggs you eat, point to the bottom, I know a lot of writing, of the circle. Okay, that seems confusing, right? Bottom of the circle. Okay, so I'll draw my box. Got a square, 1 inch. You gotta do step 1, then we gotta do step 2. So here is me doing step 1, and you'll be doing it too. And now I gotta do step 2, divide and force. Yep. And this is just so that you have the instructions, remember? Now I need to add step 3, the top line, which is 1/3 of the way down, and the bottom line, which is 1/3 of the way up. Then we gotta do number 4, a circle that touches all 4 sides. Boom. Now we need to do step 5, which is duplicate that bottom rectangle, the same size. Now we're ready for our egg point. Add the egg point to the bottom of the circle. So you all know how eggs are sort of shaped and they're kind of oval and they have a pointy side. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this look like an egg that's standing on its pointy side. So this side of the circle, where it touches the wall, I'm just gonna start drawing a line that comes down towards the center point down here. And it's gonna be a curved line. And I'm gonna draw one from the right side down. It's gonna be a curved line. And now it looks like an egg sort of standing up. And you have officially drawn a head. Mr. Matthews, it doesn't look like a head. I know, we'll get there. This is the basic structure to get you started on making something that looks like a realistic head. Let's get into labeling this. We need to know what each of these lines are, and we're gonna label it together as we go, okay? So I'm gonna start with step 1, draw a box. You will do the same. I'm gonna have mine a little higher so you can save some paper. Ooh, I'm gonna start mine over here a little bit further so I can write stuff on the side. So I'm gonna draw it right next to the writing of 6. And then I will put, there's my box. My box is there. Then I will divide it into fourths, step 2. Right down the center, both ways, both vertically and horizontally. And if it's not perfect, you can erase. That's why you have erasers, because everybody makes mistakes. Number 3, step 3, got to add those horizontal lines 1/3 of the way down from the top. Ooh, oh, sorry. Hold on, let's go back here. I'm gonna erase these, because I think we need to start with just the box if we're labeling things. So if we're gonna label things, this top line of the box is going to be the top of your head. Top of head. So if you patted your person on the head, this is where you would touch. So you would touch the top of their head. All right? And then this is going to be the side of their face, and this is going to be the side of their face, where the ears are. We don't need to label that right now. When we divide down the center vertically, this is going to be pretty much the center of our face. I like to call it just the nose line. That way you understand, when I touch my nose, it's gonna be pretty much on this line. So that's a nose line, okay? Divides the face in half. Then this line right here, I want you to pause and think about this. What line would that represent on your face, on your head? A lot of students think it's the eyes or the nose. And those are two different places on the face. So if you had to choose, is it the eyes? Is it the nose? Where would this be on a human face? So it is actually the eyebrows. So we're going to say eyebrow line. Eyebrow line. And so that just helps us know that that is where the eyebrows are going to be in our drawing. Now we have to draw this line, step 3, this horizontal line that's about 1/3 down, and we have to draw 1/3 up from the bottom. So these lines are important too, because they're going to give us some information. This top line, what would you guess? If this is the top of your head, this line up here, what is this one right below it? And if you said hairline, H-A-I-R line, you are correct. This is where the hair meets the forehead. It's not at the very top of your head, but it comes down a little bit. You can always see a little bit of hair touching people's forehead. And so then this area right here is going to be the forehead. And then down here we have the eyebrows. And so the eyes are going to be right below the eyes. So what would be right, or the eyes are going to be right below the eyebrow line. What's below the eyes? What would this line be? And a lot of students say that this is where the mouth is, but it is actually the bottom of the nose. Bottom of the nose. That is that line right there. Bottom of the nose. And then this line right here is either going to be the top of your lip for your character, depending on how much space they have between their nose and their mouth, or the mouth opening. So I just say it's the mouth. So that's that line right there. And we are only on step 3. We need to add step 4, the circle. And this just gives us a basic shape of the skull and the dome. And typically, there are usually circle shapes, but sometimes people have oval shapes, or they're a little bit wider, and that depends on who you're drawing. Okay, so we have our circle in there. Now, step 5, we got to add this bottom rectangle, duplicate the size. So I'm just going to draw that down here, right? And so this bottom line right here becomes the chin, C-H-I-N. And so when we add the egg shape in step 6, this is going to show us where the chin is. And we know the chin's sort of going to meet right there between them when we add. And so you can adjust the chin. So like if you're drawing someone with a smaller chin, this box actually might be smaller, might be a little bit lower. If you have someone with a really big chin, you might make it really big. And so that is the head and how we're going to use it. These are all the lines. We know where they are. We understand them. Now we can draw them. So if I go down here and draw a box with my ruler, we'll see how this all applies, okay? And I know we were going slow on all this, but once you get that in knowledge and you understand it, all your drawings will be quick from now on. So I know I need to divide in half, right? Vertically, my nose line. I need to put my eyebrow line in. Then I need to, step 3, add my hairline. I need to add my bottom of my nose. Then I need to duplicate it to get the size of the chin. Step 5. Then I need, step 4, I missed my circle. I need to put my circle in. That's why it's handy to have these things. My circle's not even touching the bottom one because I'm going too quickly. So let me erase that and then put my circle in correctly. I'm just trying to make the video faster, but I need to follow the actual steps or I'll get lost. So, got my circle, then I duplicate the bottom rectangle, and then I add the egg shape. And now what I can do is draw. I have some things to draw with. I know my eyebrows are going to be here, so I'm just going to put some placeholders from eyebrows so I know that they're eyebrows, just sort of like upside down U's. They're stretched out, okay? Now, when drawing eyebrows, you need a space in between, and that space between the eyebrows is usually the size of your eye. So if you were to take your eye and you put it in there, so your eye, from here to here is about 3.5 eyes wide, if you're measuring. We need to put our nose in on the nose line, because that's going to help us understand. And this is the bottom of the nose, so I'm just going to put a shadow right there. Just a shadow of the nose. If you have a nose like mine, it might hook down, and so I might do an arrow down with the shadow to show that. Some people have some button noses that sort of point up, and you can show them by putting a U up, or a U that's upside down, a little bit shorter. But I'll just put sort of a line to go through here, and that's going to be my nose, okay? I actually put it on the line so you can see what it looks like. There we go. So there's a shadow of a nose. I'm already got most of this figured out. Now, from the tip of the nose to the center of the eye is a triangle that goes like this. I'm just drawing it lightly. And so that is how your eyes to nose work. It's sort of a triangle. And so if I can find the tip of the nose here to here, and I can get a triangle, I know that my pupil or my irises are going to be right around there. And then I can erase those lines. And then I know that this area between the eyes, it sort of goes down like this. And then the nose comes back out. And that's going to be defined differently for each person. So some people have really short areas up here, and then they have longer nose lines down the side. Your nose isn't flat. It's got some definition and shape, and sort of like a pyramid. And so we have to give it some definition to catch some light up here. There we go. For the eyelids, I see a lot of people doing this, like curved lines for the eyelids. What we want to do, and that's not what we want to do, we want to do up, and then over, and then down. And this will give us a little bit more realistic look of the eyes. It doesn't necessarily feel like that's what you should do, but when drawing, we want to trick people's eyes into thinking that we are actually drawing it. And if we do a curved line like this, which you normally see in life, it becomes a little bit too realistic and it takes you out of the drawing. But by doing this, it makes it look less realistic on the paper, but in people's minds, it tricks it into thinking it looks realistic. It's a kind of crazy thing. Then we need to find, and if we're looking for, if we don't want to use the triangle method for our eyes, and we don't want to find our eyes there, what we can do is find the side of the nostrils and go up, and just draw a line, and that'll give us the tear duct. And then what we need to do is go just a little bit in on the sides of the eyebrows, because the eyebrows and the eyebrows extend a little bit past the corner of the eyes. And then we have those two little spaces, and we can draw our little shape like this. And I just put dots there so you can see them a little bit better. And then we can put the eyes to the side if we want. We can put them the other way, however we want. We just put those irises in. And then you can erase some of these lines if you like as we go. Now for the mouth, your eyes, the center of your eyes, so let me change this so we can actually see. So the center of this person's eye, if it was looking straight onto us, the center of the eyebrow, the iris, if we drew a straight line down, that'll give us the corners of the mouth. So the mouth ends here and the mouth ends there, okay? And for the top lip, we're not gonna draw it like this. That is not what we're gonna do. We're just gonna put in some value, just some value. And so we'll make the top lip darker. The top lip's always darker because it's at an angle. If we're looking at it at the side, this is your lip. And the top lip, if light was coming down, it casts a shadow here, and it's really dark. So the top lips are always darker. The bottom light catches all the light, and so we'll just put a little line underneath it, showing that the light is touching that lip, and we got pretty much a face. We need to add ears because all heads have ears, and the way to do it is find the eyebrow line, and we're going to start right here, and we're going to come in a little bit because the ears are attached to the side of the face. And so we're going to leave a little space between the eyebrow and the side of the head, but we're going to come in, and we can erase this circle on the side when we get to there. And we can come in just a little bit, and then we'll start our ears and have it go out a little bit. If you have bigger ears, if you have smaller ears on your person, they can come down a little bit. And what we're trying to do is the top of the eyebrows is the top of your ear, and the bottom of the nose, with a person looking straight onto you, is the bottom of the ear. And we can just do like a backward C shape. And if I go on the other side, top of the eyebrow line, got an ear, and then the bottom of the nose, I know it's going to end there, and we have an ear. We can put a line right here next to it and make the ear go back a little bit, fill it in with some value, because ears on the side of the head are usually dark unless a light is just like shining super bright at it. Then this side will be all white and this side would be all dark, or bright versus dark. So we got some things in. I can start erasing some lines. This is why we're drawing lightly. We're just building the structure. Now we need to find the neck, because heads don't float. They always have necks. And so what I want to do is find the neck. And the neck's going to change how we look at this work. So normally necks are sort of between, they start between your eyebrow and your eye, corner of your eye. And so if you found like a little space and drew a light line down, and then where the head meets the chin, that is where the neck is going to be. And so right here, going down lightly, and I can darken it up, and that'll give you most typically a person's neck. Now, let's say you work out. You're trying to draw a superhero. Well, what you're going to do is put that line between the ear and the eyebrow, and you're going to get someone with a thicker neck. Now, if you want to draw a child, what you'll want to do is go between the, well, it's pretty much right at the corner of the eye. And so the corner of the eye going down, and it'll make it look more childish because children usually have smaller necks. Or youthful. Youthful is a good way of saying it, because you can use it for female, or on the gender spectrum, anybody who is a little bit more petite. You can use that for, you know, fairies, things like that, if you like. So I'm just going to put in, just right here, a neck that goes down, and I want that line over, that defines the chin, to be over that neck part. Now, the next part is you have these lines going down and they're touching the bottom. What we're going to do now is give it shoulders. And so right here we're going to curve some lines in there, and it'll give us some shoulders. And then right here from the corner of the neck going down, I'm just going to put this sort of U shape in there, and that will give us a shadow that we can put in our drawing to look like the neck is casting a shadow on the neck, or the chin is casting a shadow on the neck. Put some marks in here, throw a collar around it to show that the person is wearing a t-shirt. And we got a head. Now this person's bald, so we should probably fix it, unless you want a bald character. We have our hairline right here. And if we were to do, let's do someone with sort of like spiky hair. We'll do one side spiky, one side long, okay? So the hairline, depending on the person you're gonna have to look, is gonna be adjusted. Some people might have shorter hairlines, so they come down further and they have smaller eyebrows, and that's fine. Some people have higher ones, like they lost a lot of their hair. They're gonna be up higher. So I'm just gonna take the one we had, and some people have some points to their hairlines like this, others don't. I'm gonna do the long side on the left. So if you were drawing someone with longer hair, they might have a part in their hair, and that might go over the line, that's fine. And it might swoop down and go behind their ears. But then we'll take the hair just a little bit above the top of the hair, because hair kind of bounces, it has volume. And so we'll go up, and we'll bring it down over the side here, and we'll let it cascade. And if I just drew straight down, it doesn't look normal or typical. Hair has a lot more movement to it, especially longer hair. And so what we want to do is give it some movement, like so. And we can just fill it in. And we can get, I'll go over how to draw hair later, but this is just to like rough it in if I was sketching. This person has some hair, boom. And the hair goes behind the ear, boom. But if I was doing short hair, and let's actually part this person right down the center. Like, there we go. So I can show you. So shorter hair, what I can do is take it over to the side. Usually these cuts bring it to the side, and then it goes back a little bit, and then it comes back forward. And let's give this person a little bit of sideburns on the side. And then their hair's sort of spiky or unruly. I might just block in the shape of what the hair looks like. And then down here. And we have some hair. We're not putting in tons of details, but we gotta put in some. And then what you can do is, since you drew pretty lightly, you can erase some of these structure lines in here. It'll give you a nice like skin tone type thing. And if you want to make your person darker in skin, you can put in some value. You can smudge it. And we'll go over how to smudge properly. I'm just doing this quickly. And we got a face. Hopefully your face here looks way better, more realistic than the first one you drew by following these steps. Now I'm going to show you how to do the same thing, use this same process to draw the side of the face. And it's pretty much the exact same way. What you're going to do is draw a square. And I'm just going to do this freehand. This is more of a way of just like trying to get you set up. So you don't always have to use a ruler unless you want to be super precise. So I have a square. I'm going to divide it in half. I'm going to divide it in half again, so I got force. This time, I'm going to skip step 3 and go straight to step 4, which is drawing a circle. And now, what I'm going to do is duplicate step 5, but I'm only going to do half of it because I'm seeing the side of the face. And I'll write that in, side of head. Okay, so this is the side of the head. So I'm just going to take about a third of this and drop it down here, okay? And that is going to give us our chin. It might be a little bit bigger than I want. There we go. So that is how to draw the side of the head. So if I was to draw it over here, I'll show you how it's done. Cross, and then a little rectangle here at the bottom. Oh, I forgot the circle. Why am I keep forgetting the circle today? It's very important, especially in this one. Okay, so this is going to be the top of the head. Top of head. This is still going to be the eyebrow. Eyebrow. And then this is going to be the chin. And we can work within there, okay? So my person is looking this way because I put this rectangle on this side. If I wanted the person to look the other way, I'd put the rectangle on the other side. So we know the eyebrow is here, so we need to put the nose in. And the nose is going to start right below the eyebrow, just a little bit down, and it's going to come off, and it's going to be like a triangle, and it's going to come down like so. And we have a nose. Now we know that this is where the mouth is, this line at the bottom here. So we can put in our lips. We know that the top lip kind of bends down. It curves like that down. So it has like a little top ridge, and then it has a shelf that goes under. And then the bottom lip protrudes out like so. And we can have a mouth. So let me just put that in. That bottom lip's a little too big. And then the chin, I'm just gonna round it a little bit. And we have a chin. Now for the eyes, we know that the eyebrows are up here. So I'm gonna put an eyebrow in, and I'm not putting the eyebrow in right on that corner. I'm stepping it back a little bit, okay? Because when you see someone on the side of their face, you sometimes see that skin right there on the bridge of their nose. So I have my eyebrows in there. I know that the eyes are gonna be in here, but to draw an eye at the side, the easiest way to do it is take an A, the letter A, capital letter A, like so, and let it fall down in the direction so that you can see it. So an A on the side would look like this for this way. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna write in an A that's sideways. And it's not gonna touch the front of the box, but it's not gonna go too far back. And now I have an eye looking out. Now I need to put in an ear. And the ear we know is at the top. It's gonna be back here somewhere, right? It's at the top of the eyebrow and it's the bottom of the nose. So I can just extend that. So I know the bottom of the ear is gonna be here, the top of the ear is here. And it is just sort of a C shape. And it just sort of sits behind that line. You can also, because this is not typical, everybody's face is a little bit different. You can also move it, extend it a little forward, and if it's especially not too much forward, it is fine to play within that space. Now we have a head. We want to make sure that this chin sort of connects up here with this circle, like it extends down. And now we can do is an eye, or the neck, sorry. So we have the side view. So the neck, if we had that, this chin's a little long because I went below the box. There we go. That's better. So I have that box in here, right, still? And there's my chin. The neck is going to start sort of right where the iris is, going down. And so that's where we're going to start curving it back, okay? And then back here, the neck sort of starts behind the ear. So I might want to actually move my ear back behind it. And this is just going to depend on who you're drawing and how you look. And it sort of starts towards right behind the ear, and it comes back like so. Okay? And then I can add like a shoulder and the curve of a person's back. Put in a shirt, because they should be wearing a shirt. They're in public. And there we go. We got a person. Now it's the hair, and that's the last thing we have to do. And so if this person has short hair, I'll do short hair first because it's a little bit easier. What I'm going to do is just remove the corners of that box so I can see their head a little bit better. And I need forehead. I know the top of the hairline is going to be right around here. So I'm going to have this much forehead. And then I can just put in the shape of someone's hair, like so. I need to come back here to the bottom because hair sort of extends to the bottom of the neck. And then I will fill in some on the side. If I look at someone's hair from the side, it kind of goes up, back, and then back down, and almost touches the eyebrow. There's like usually an inch between the eyebrow and the side of the hair, and then I'll go down. And now I have some hair, throw in some messiness, and that's how you would draw the side of the face with some hair. They're short. If the person has long hair and they don't have sideburns, that's fine too. We can, let me get the shape of the head back here. That's naughty in the back, there we go. There we go. What we can do is, I'm gonna take the same hairline, I'm gonna take the hair up and over, and this is usually a person with longer hair has sort of a flat top here, and then it comes back, and then it sort of cascades down. And then what I can do is remove some of this inside information, and then the hair goes back at the same angle as like the short hair, and then down, but maybe it doesn't go in front of the ear, like a sideburn, but goes behind the ear, like someone tucked it in behind the ear, and then it goes down over the back usually. And then we can draw in some lines to show that it's moving. We're not trying to draw every single hair strand. We're just trying to give it some life. And we can even have some strands go away, like it's sort of like this person standing in the wind. And then if we want to, we can erase these lines, the structure lines, and it'll become a little bit more realistic. You can sort of see that. And we can open the person's mouth, make them angry. So here's the person angry. They're yelling. Put some teeth in here. Oh, this person's so upset. They look worried right now because I just need to change the eyebrows. And now they're very angry. Give me back my taco. Something like that. I don't know. Make that top lip a little darker. And so we have that. We can also change it just by changing a few things in our things. We can make this person look like they're calm. Straight lines usually mean people are calm or serene. Well, horizontal lines usually do that. Make their eyes a little bit darker. But you see that, and you can understand that this is how you would draw a head. And so hopefully, whatever you choose, whatever you learned on how to do this, you can use this and put this into your own practice. And then we will learn how to like actually draw hair and go from that. But this is just going to be our learning, our starting point on how to draw a head. We're going to start with a box, divide it into fourths, put in these two horizontal lines 1/3 of the way from the top, 1/4 of the way from the bottom, put in a circle, which I keep forgetting, then draw and duplicate this bottom rectangle there, duplicate the bottom rectangle in size only, And then we have our circle. We add this egg shape to it to get our chin. And then it's just all about getting those correct proportions. So please use this to draw heads, learn how to, and by doing so, you'll only improve. And you can also search up other ways, but this is just the easiest way I find that students are able to draw heads.